Guy with a sword versus 50 cops, bro.
Date is April 3rd, 1997. And in the city of Seattle, Washington, at around 11 a.m., 911 operators would receive a call that would change the course of history.
Hello, 911, what's your emergency?
There's a black man. He's carrying something that looks like a
There's
samurai sword.
Okay,
black
calm down,
man.
please don't racial profile.
Samurai.
Does he appear?
Something that looks like a samurai sword.
Okay, calm down, please don't racial profile.
What?
Does he appear to be dangerous?
He's just standing
He's black, that's it.
there, but everyone's
your-
freaking out.
Yeah, so
What is
mention
your
that,
current
no?
location?
Second and Pike.
Okay, I
Bro, there's a guy with a katana. He said he's black and has a katana. Don't racially profile. What?
want you to stay on the line. I'm going to alert law enforcement of the situation.
Just send help now,
stay
please.
calm for me, okay?
Get some very calm.
This call triggered an 11-hour standoff, which would forever immortalize the name of the Seattle Street Samurai.
Holy aura!
The man refuses to surrender his weapon without a fight.
There's talks about this guy online, but they're from forever ago. So I just thought I'd make a contribution by putting this amazing story in a digestible video format. I was genuinely floored to see that nobody had made a video about this, because this shit is insane. With nothing but sunglasses and a samurai sword to his name, this man held off an army of police officers for 11 hours. He withstood
11?
everything from getting shot to receiving a bribe in the form of a Big Mac, and just stood there. His name is Tony Allison.
Wait, did he? When the cops started shooting, did he like deflect the bullets?
But on this day, he insisted that everybody, including the police, refer to him as Apollo. And it all started with him doing nothing. Yeah, it didn't actually start with that 911 call. That was fake.
Oh.
Surprise. It was actually an off-duty police officer, and he was alerted about a man in camo pants and a leather jacket that was quote-unquote disturbing. So this off-duty police officer decides to follow him from Pike's Place Market to the corner of 2nd and Pike. Which, bro, you're off-duty. Try hard much.
Shut up,
Anyways,
Zaba.
this is where you see him in the video. Now, Apollo was suspicious of this guy following him, and rightfully so. I would be as well. So he took what the cop describes as a defensive stance with his sword at the ready, which is understandable in a defense situation like this one. Sadly, that was enough for the off-duty cop to call his buddies, and they would remain in that same location for the next 11 hours. They closed all the stores, evacuated everybody, shut down all the streets, caused traffic jams. In case you guys are wondering whether he's actually dangerous with a sword, the news report made sure to seek out a trustworthy source.
So the man confirms authorities' worst fears.
Yeah, he knows how to use the sword.
When the cops got there, apparently they tried to bribe the samurai sword out of his hand with a glorious sum of $50. I want you to take one look at this guy and guess how he responded.
Defensive stance.
No, but actually, verbally, he didn't say anything for the entire 11-hour standoff, except mentioning he had brothers in China and Russia and correcting police officers when they wouldn't refer to him as Apollo. He also said that he was possessed by demons and wanted to kill them.
He talked about Satan. He talked about his brothers in Russia and China, but he never really engaged the negotiator.
But yeah, he just refused to drop the sword. I don't know, I couldn't imagine why. However, the police did not give up here. Nah, they went back to the drawing board.
Wait, do the cops not have something tough? Like, I don't know, shooting tasers or something? Like sniper taser? You shoot, you keep them, you know, from far away, they shoot that shit. Long ass cable. But they couldn't get close, probably. Yeah, but that's why they need a sniper taser, bro. I know with that taser you have to be close and shit, but you know, a sniper taser, that shit's not hard to invent, I promise you, bro. We can already send cables from point A to point B. You get me? Yeah, whatever.
And came up with another offer. No, I can't make this shit.
It's your McDonald's Big Mac. You've got to taste.
They offered him a Big Mac. No, I'm serious. This is
That's
real.
tough.
They offered him McDonald's. This is targeted. Then they assumed since he was unmoved by this, he must have a mental health history. So they tried triggering schizophrenic urges. Of course, he was unmoved by these childish tricks and continued to stand his ground. So the police weren't sure what to do next. Since he wasn't attacking anybody, they had to get the sword out of his hand. They thought about throwing a net over him. They shot him with tranquilizer darts, which had no effect. They also shot him with those riot pellets, those little beanbags. Now, I don't know if you guys remember that scene in Jackass where they shot Johnny.
No, they have tasers, but they tried everything. They even shot darts. Tranquilizer darts. They shoot at horses and shit.
Knoxville with one of these things.
It's considered less lethal.
he was on the ground panting for like 20 minutes. He just shrugs it off. Anyways, 2 unfair nut shots later, he was still standing.
But he endures round after round and shows no sign of surrender.
Who is this guy?
They decided the best route to take is to tear gas him.
The man shakes off the tear gas with almost superhuman strength.
Spray him with a fire hose.
hoping that he will lose his grip on the sword.
They use everything on him.
When that doesn't work, they turn the water pressure up, full blast.
And then pin him down with a ladder.
Those guys went down by the book, exactly what they were supposed to do.
Oh. Yeah, of course. I'm pretty sure this is the definition of by the book, actually. Now, when you look at this from the outside, who is in the wrong here?
Guns with special bean bags that strike with the same impact.
They have an RPG
as a heavyweight boxer's punch.
Chemical agents or tear gas makes the suspect very uncomfortable. Burns his eyes, it burns his skin, and it makes it difficult for him to breathe.
The jets of water pack the force of a hurricane wind. Then, in a highly orchestrated
That's crazy.
maneuver, police pin the suspect down with a ladder, pole, and riot shield.
By the book, exactly what they were supposed to do.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. You guys don't want to know my opinion.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Would you consider this excessive force? Let me know in the comments. And you might think this man's had enough. But the tragedy of Tony Apollo Allison's story is not done. As it turns out, only a year prior to the sword incident, Tony Apollo Allison was released from Western State Hospital after finishing a 10-year sentence from a charge in which he pled not guilty due to insanity. A charge of second-degree assault with intent to rape. Before this incident, he was an alcoholic, wandering the streets with a sword on his back, and now he's a man with his name engraved in history. He was later sent back to Western State Hospital. However, his current whereabouts are unknown. Until now, in a twist of events, I think I might have just found him, or at least some potential evidence he's still out protecting the city. Back in 2021, Adapt was with his son at Bitter Lake Playfield, and while passing by a homeless encampment, spotted this distinct shiny object sticking out of the debris. Now, the location of this park happens to be about 50 miles away from Western State Hospital, or a mere 8.2 miles away from where this whole thing began.
Holy reach,
now,
but
due
that's
to
fire.
Apollo's story being very old and many news sources doing very minuscule amounts of deep diving and just very little information in general, I had to resort to these 2 blog posts excessively. This one's got a really neat website, so go check it out.
Got a lot of neat posts about like aliens.
Okay, nice promo, but WVid, that's tough.